This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined with the Romford Bull Johnny Fisher here in Brentwood. Yeah, familiar territory for yourself. But yeah, I guess sort of not an interview that you'd like to have been doing. I think I'd have expected to actually be interviewing you at the brewery earlier today. But yeah, unfortunate news that obviously the fight with Ridenko on the 28th, which seems like that whole thing is all cursed. But yeah, I guess first things first, how are you, mate?
I'm alright, mate. Listen, it's gutting. I feel like you do immediately think about the fans and the people that are travelling, and we've messed them about so much. No fault of our own, but you do think about that. And when I first heard the news, I was very, very concerned that the bicep was in a bad place, but I had an ultrasound scan to follow up with 2 MRIs, and it's not as deadly as they first thought in terms of the bicep having to come apart. It's actually the tear's a long tear, but it's quite close together, so without surgery it should heal, but I've got to do it all properly. But these things happen for a reason. Something was telling me this just wasn't meant to be this fight, and yeah, I'm doing the right thing, I'm healing it up.
I was going to say, yeah, so you've just gone through, I guess, the basis of the injury there with the bicep injury. So, yeah, I guess for yourself, when you look at the future of potentially being sidelined, how bad really is it?
It is bad. It's a tear of the bicep muscle itself rather than a tendon. And the doctor was saying a surgery where you reattach the tendon is an easy fix, but if you tear all the way through the muscle and you try and fuse muscle back together, 1, it can't work sometimes, and 2, it takes 1.5 to 2 years. So I'm very, very lucky. This is looking like I can be out by the end of the year, only because I've been diligent and checked on it and made sure I haven't gone through it anymore. So hopefully we'll be out at the end of the year.
And for yourself, it was a bit of a pushback fight day, and I guess it's been, a kind of a long camp for yourself, because you had the Babbage fight, and almost the fight got announced that you were fighting, obviously, on the 24th of August on the Catterall Programme, the card. Do you think partially that's to do with it that it was a little bit too much?
Your body can only go on for so long training hard, and especially as a heavyweight, you can't just keep doing it. You can't keep doing it and doing it. So yeah, if I could do it, keep going all the time without an injury, you're not normal, you're not human. So this is just part and parcel of the game we're in, and we've tried to respond in the best way we can. Really, I should have just said after the 24th of August I need to have a couple of weeks off, but it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just actually did want to focus attention on tonight, obviously here in Brentwood for the Top Tier show. Yeah, obviously Finley James boxed earlier to a decent performance. Tommy Fletcher actually in the corner. Yeah, you've got a few guys in your stable who do box on the small hall. It's just obviously like, you know, the level it's at now is only rising and rising. So yeah, exciting to see that the level that is getting better.
Finley James, you've got Joel Bartel. He fought Jordan Reynolds recently, and this is the lifeblood of the sport. Boxing at Brentwood Centre, boxing at the York Hall. These are great little shows that people can come along and see, and Top Tier are doing a great job in putting the production on for them.
Yeah. Absolutely. And another fight I did want to catch your attention on, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois. Obviously a couple of weeks now. You've been in the ring with Dubois, you sparred Dubois many times. To quote yourself, actually, I think in an interview with Sekazat, you said he shook you to your core, to your boots. Yeah. So when you have been in the ring with him, how much consideration do you take for your thoughts on that fight in a couple of weeks' time?
Yeah, listen, 55-45 in favour of Joshua is how I'm going with it. I think Don Charles is a great coach. Ben Davidson's a great coach. You can see in the lottery of heavyweight boxing how it could go either way. I'm still favouring Anthony Joshua, and I think at the end of the day, the man that punches the other man in the face harder or more times will win.
I was going to say that, like, when you look at Dubois, what sort of dangers would you say from sharing him that he does possess? You know, it's easy to say the power, but there's obviously other factors to it as well.
He punches extremely, extremely hard, and that, as a heavyweight, is number one on the list. Can you punch hard? If you can lights out anyone at any point. And trust me, Daniel Dubois is a serious, serious threat. He's never been dropped by him, but I can feel that power. And with 10-ounce gloves on, anyone on the planet is going lights out with that punch power. But it's the same for him with Joshua.
Absolutely, for sure. Johnny, as always, thank you for taking time to speak to me. Get well soon, mate. Appreciate it, man.